We got Mercedes Moné, Toni Storm, Jacy Jayne, Naomi, and Stephanie Vaquer. As like I've been saying through our entire show, you have me drop them in the comments. Drop your winner in the comments, guys. So I will start here. I'm going to go with Stephanie Vaquer at number 5. Stephanie Vaquer. I said this earlier in the stream about her being one of the breakout wrestlers of the year. Got everything you can get in a year: double champion, world champion, and crown jewel champion. But as far as bringing anything else other than aura, she hasn't done that, in my opinion. Vince Russo does crack me up when he says she doesn't speak. She doesn't even speak English, bro. Like it's fantastic. Number 4, I'm gonna go with, shockingly, guys. But number 4, I'm gonna go with Toni Storm. The reason being I'm going with Toni Storm at number 4 is because I said this about Mariah May last year. We didn't do it May last year, but if you go back in the archives, you probably find some things that we talked about Mariah May during her reign as champion. When it didn't involve Mariah May, when Toni Storm was done with Mariah May, until she got to Mercedes, nothing happened. She got after the Mercedes feud happened, before the Mercedes feud happened, nothing happened. And then she loses the title to Chris Statlander. A lot of us didn't expect Chris Statlander to win the championship, but that's what actually did happen. And that's the one thing that dragged Toni Storm out for months. It was like, okay, all right, when are you going to face Mercedes? All right, All Out coming out in the summer. All right, we're going to build this. We're going to build this up. But in between that build up, what was going on with Toni Storm? Not a whole lot going on there. Number 3, I'm going to go with Naomi. Now, if Naomi wasn't pregnant, Naomi would be higher. She would be, because Naomi had a fantastic year. I've never been I think Naomi's a phenomenal athlete, and I always knew she had it in her, but they never gave her the opportunity. I thought Naomi would always be like an amazing heel. Like, we had to get rid of that glow shit. That glow shit ran its course. We had to get that out of here. We just did. It ran its course. What was the glow? Really, like for real. And like I said, I thought Naomi cut amazing promos. I thought Naomi, being that vindictive heel and that look she would put on her face as a heel, was fantastic. Even the fact that you could stay in character announcing you pregnant is fantastic. You cannot make that up. Look, she made a joke of it, and it was perfectly delivered. Absolutely perfect. You couldn't ask for anything else. And also, I talked about as well, she might have had the moment of the year of cashing in at Evolution. And me and Eric talked about it might be one of the top 2 or 3 cash-ins that ever happened. So if Naomi didn't end up getting pregnant, she would be higher on my list. But I'm docking her. I'm sorry, I'm docking her for the few months she's out. She was out. But she did a fantastic job and had an amazing 2025. Number 2, I'm going with Jacy Jayne. Same reasons I said earlier about her being the breaker wrestler of the year. She got everything in 2025. Fantastic matches. She could work her ass off in that ring. I think she's the best one in NXT. And I also said that, I forgot to say this too. She also outlasted, as she says in her promos, the flavor of the month. Every time. She does. So, Jacy Jayne, as I said again, she is the focal point of NXT. She can carry the show. She can talk. She can go in the ring. She can do everything. She can. So, Jacy Jayne is my number 2. But I can't deny Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné is the women's wrestler of 2025. Mercedes totally redeemed herself from everything that we said about her last year. Last year, we didn't do an award show, but Mercedes wasn't even on my list for Women's Wrestler of the Year because she had such a lackluster year, in my opinion. And I don't think a lot of people disagree with me at all. I told you about Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron, she kind of like brought some fun back to her, brought some personality back to Mercedes. And Mercedes also to her doing, she got herself together. She got, she kind of found her foot and found what works in AEW. It's like, okay, this isn't working. Let me try something new. And we kind of even saw some shades of Sasha Banks in her. But Mercedes, you can't deny it. I'm not even talking about the titles. I get a lot of flack for the clips I post because people don't listen to what I actually say. They just get triggered by that, by the thumbnail or the caption on the caption on the thumbnail when you have to actually listen to the words. But Mercedes has had a fantastic 2025. I don't care about all them goddamn belts because, as I said, a lot of those belts are irrelevant unless you're going to put them on TV and let whoever beats her for those belts beat her on TV, and they did that a couple of times. So they did a perfect job on handling her, and I said it at the top of the show on the Mercedes clip. They did a good job handling her, and they did a good job telling her story and how you're going to get these belts off of her. But Mercedes, she had her dancing shoes on all year long. And for that, Mercedes Moné is the women's wrestler of 2025.